Welcome to the Throwdown, our mostly weekly segment where the Technodrome decides what is best, what is worst, who is right, and who is wrong. The gloves are off, fellas. Our topic for this week is, and it's a little bit different from what we normally do. We're doing two favorites, no least favorites. We're doing favorite TV mom and favorite TV dad. This is just a positivity show this time around. So I'm going to raise my hand as if I'm going to put time on the clock. And I'm going to lower it as if I'm putting time on the clock. And Duff is going to ring that gong. And I'm going to throw it over to Senor Duff. Give us your favorite TV mom.
Favorite TV mom. I'm going to bring us to a time period from about the mid-90s, actually, and onward. So I know it's kind of on the outer cusp of what we like to normally talk to. But I don't know. It's a show that maybe you wouldn't think someone my age would really be into or really appreciate. But I am a big fan of the character of Marie Barone. I think she is absolutely hilarious. She plays the role so well. I mean, just, kind of the overbearing kind of mother that lives across the street. She is absolutely hilarious with all the other characters in the show.
What show is this for the viewers that don't know?
The show. You know the show very well.
I do.
Everybody loves Raymond.
Yes. We all love
Ray Barone. Again, he plays essentially kind of like a sports writer. And lives with his family, and they essentially kind of buy a house across the street from his parents. So it's his parents that live across the street, and they're constantly coming over and causing all sorts of disruption, especially for Ray's wife, and just it's just constant just laughter and just funny stuff going on all the time. And again, I think she just plays that character to a T and does a really good job with it. So. In regards to just laughter and overall just like the funniness of the character, that's my choice. Marie Barone.
That's a great pick. Not something I would have seen coming at all.
I like that.
Yeah, Doris Roberts
she's amazing.
She's a
she
treasure
played a lot of
on
different
that show. She was so good.
And she was, again, even in, I know this is kind of out of the spectrum, but Grandma's Boy, she was hilarious in that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was another movie that you, I think, turned me on to, Cast.
Yeah, it was like, I think I was one of 3 people who saw it in the theater, then made everybody in college go see it. And then going on the opposite side of the spectrum, Scales might remember that she played in a couple episodes of Soap. She played a crazy mom in that too, the mother of a priest who leaves the priesthood to marry Corinne, who's one of the main characters. And then she guilts him so much that she actually dies. And like leaves him with
Jesus.
Yeah. So even more over the top than Marie Barone. But yeah, great choice stuff. Didn't see that coming at all, and that's great. Mr. Scales, favorite TV mom.
Yeah, so this was tough for me. I had a few that I really like a lot. So I'm gonna just randomly pick one of these 3 and we'll go with it. I'm gonna go with in honor of the late, great Betty White, who just passed away recently. I'm going to the Golden Girls, and I'm picking Sophia Petrillo.
Nice. Good choice. There we go.
Another out of the box one. Yeah.
Excellent.
She's hysterical. I mean, obviously she's Dorothy's mother, right? But she's kind of like the mother figure for all 3 of these women that they all live together, the 4 of them. And she's just so witty, and they're like her one-liners, and when they're getting down or they're getting in a argument about something, she's just always the glue that brings them all back together. And I have fond memories of watching the Golden Girls and always getting a kick out of Sophia.
Mm-hmm.
Good choice.
Her jabs at Blanche are always amazing.
Oh yeah, classic.
Yeah. I love. What is it? I don't know who the guy was, but he's like Mr. Pfeffer or something. She's like, all right, Mr. Pfeffer, how about I punch you in the face?
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, classic.
Nice choice.
Cast.
I'm going to go a little more mainstream with what we talk about normally, but I'm going Harriet Winslow.
I knew someone was going to say that. I knew someone was. I mean, you got to.
She's just great. I mean, like, she's
the one
who's like, cool, calm, and collected. I feel like has got it all figured out. Let's lets Carl think that he runs the show, but she's really the one who runs the show,
Yes.
and
Of course.
you know that he knows that she runs the show. She's just, she's smart. She's a great mom. And when we did our throwdown about Full House versus Family Matters, I didn't get to say it then, but I think that one of the missing elements in Full House is the mom figure, like a dedicated mom figure. I think that Harriet is the glue that holds that show together. And that's part of what makes it so good, because she's a lot of times the one giving that, moral at the end, like telling the kids what's right, or telling her husband what's right. So yeah,
I can throw something at you with Full House, though. I mean, that's what makes Full House so great. The fact that there is no mother figure.
Yeah. Oh, again, no, I'm not. Again, I'm not doing it as a knock on. I'm not doing it as a knock on Full House. I'm just saying, like, that's part of the reason why I felt that Family Matters worked better, because they have the strong mother figure there too. It's like a little more well-rounded as far as like pieces of the puzzle. Yeah. So Harriet Winslow, strong, smart woman.
Good choice.
So now I'm gonna go in the opposite direction now. Scales, favorite TV dad.
I'm going to gracefully deflect my pick and pass it over to Duffy, because I know that I want him to speak first on what I know his pick is going to be. So I'm going to let him go, and then you can throw it back to me if you want after that. So go ahead, Duff. The floor is yours.
Don't ever sub-host me on an episode again. I make the decisions here. You know what? So I'm going to skip you, Scales. Joe, why don't you give your opinion first?
Oh, so you know what I'm going to pick already. So you know that I'm going to pick Frank Barone, and that's going to be my answer. I'm picking Frank Barone. I know, with everything going on, you probably thought I was going to go Bob Saget. But I gotta go. I'm going Frank Barone. I'm keeping with my theme of, Marie and Frank, that whole duo. I think they made that show just so great. And Frank, I was kind of a fan of him also when he played the role in Young Frankenstein, played the role of the monster. He's hilarious in that one. And just like those two going back and forth, and him just walking around, basically with his pants around his ankles half the time in his underwear, just looking where his next meal is going to be. I mean, it's great. I'm not going to take anything away from Bob Saget, but, the role of, Mr. Tanner. That's kind of what I was going for. That duo right there, the mother and the father couple. So that's kind of, I threw a curveball at you guys.
You did. You really got me there.
He Roddy Pipered you just when you thought you had the answers. Change the questions.
Change the questions. That bastard.
Gotcha. I got you guys speechless on that one.
You are slippery. I think the most shocking thing is I didn't know in the 18, 19 years I've known you that you watched Everybody Loves Raymond at all.
It was more of a thing that I kind of got into just later. It was just like, it was on. It was just something on. Like, again, I work weird hours. So there was like certain times where it would be on, and I just kind of got into it, and I just kind of got more and more entrenched into like what they were doing. I just thought it was great. I thought their characters are just phenomenal characters, great writing, and they're just a comedic duo right there.
Yeah. They make the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Not the whiny Ray Barone.
Yeah. Well,
Ray Romano is good. It's just,
Yeah. Well, you need the one there to like ground all the craziness around them.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Okay. All right. Now, Scales, I'll allow you to go.
All right. Thank you. Sorry for subverting your podcast here today. What I thought Duffy was going to go with is because I had him on my list as well, and I'm going to pick him. I'm going with Danny Tanner.
There you go.
In light of recent events, and rest in peace to the great Bob Saget. Just watching, I've gone back, and it's sad that we wait for someone to pass to really go back and appreciate a lot of their work and watch a lot of their stuff. But I've been watching a lot of Full House clips lately, and watching on the news, and they're showing a lot of old clips and stuff, and it just really brought me back to that time and how much we really looked at Danny Tanner as a dad for me, at least, like as a father figure growing up on TV. That was our TV dad, was Danny Tanner. And the fact that he was a single dad. I mean, I know he had Uncle Jesse and Joey there, but raising three daughters, pretty much, on his own kind of a deal is, not
And
an
don't
easy
forget
task.
Comet the dog.
And he had Comet the dog there for support as well. But just not an easy thing to do, raising 3 daughters on your own after losing your wife. So, and he did it so well. And obviously he always had his morality tales and, brought everything back down to earth at the end of each episode. But he was so funny, 99% of the other 99% of the episode, he's just hysterical. And his nerdy character, neat freak, like all that, just, I don't know. I love Danny Tanner. That's my pick.
Yeah. And
excellent choice.
Influence on our show in the intro where you're polishing your belt. That's right. Kind of an homage to Danny Tanner
Absolutely.
and his OCD cleaning everything.
That's exactly right.
Absolutely. Perfect.
Yeah. Good choice. We knew somebody was going to pick him. So well done.
All right, Cass.
I'm going to take it in another direction.
I can't take everything Full House,
Yeah. So that's the thing. We don't want our show to be like one of those sitcoms where everything is catchphrases and you just expect something.
Yeah,
it can't be too
I threw a curveball at you fellas tonight.
I like it.
Frank Costanza from Seinfeld is my choice. Now, I know not all of us on the show love Seinfeld.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, if you don't like Seinfeld, you're probably the kind of guy who doesn't like Perfect Strangers either. You're a schmuck, is what you are. But Frank Costanza is just, there's no other character like him on any other show. Like, is a character that doesn't make sense. Like, he just explodes at the drop of a hat, and the way that he was played is just like so perfect. So the first episode Frank Costanza is in, he's played by an actor, John Randolph, and he's played like more toned down and like was adequate, but it wasn't working. So they got Jerry Stiller to come and play Frank Costanza for all the episodes after that. And there was he wasn't really sure where to take the character. And they basically said, you could like go bigger or whatever. So I think the way that he started that was he's supposed to hit George in the head. He slaps him kind of hard, and then he just made everything big. So it was like everything was loud, and he had this like halting way of speaking. And what makes his delivery so funny is he closes his eyes and just like kind of blurts everything out at once. And that's actually Jerry Stiller trying to remember his lines. Like, he was always so nervous that he wasn't going to remember his lines that you see him like kind of go like this and struggle, and then it all comes out, and it just became that, like, that's who Frank Costanza is. That's the character, and it's hysterical. It was all part of him just being so worried about messing up his lines. By all accounts, everybody on the cast couldn't keep a straight face in the scenes that he was in because he was so funny unintentionally. Like, intentionally and unintentionally, like just the way that he said and did things, people would just like cut up laughing at him all the time. So yeah, Frank Costanza, he's a terrible father, but an amazing character. Because George ended up the way he was because he had horrible parents. But,
poor George.
I mean, I will say Jerry Stiller is awesome. He's great.
And I'm sure you don't like the show Seinfeld, but I'm sure you could watch a scene and laugh at isolated things. And I would have to think that the Costanzas, that I know you don't like George, but his parents, any scene they're in, they steal. The parents, like Jerry's parents, are hilarious too. But yeah, the Costanzas, and namely Frank, are just fantastic.
I mean, you know what I'll watch? It's the Keith Hernandez episodes. So.
Of course.
Yeah, good point.
Well, that's it for this week. We hope that you enjoyed. We'd like for you to let us know who your favorite TV moms and dads are, and let us know how we're doing. Like, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you can be kept apprised of all our latest content. Send us an email. Let us know what topics you'd like for us to cover in the future, and follow us on social media at Throwbacks Technodrome Pod on Instagram and TikTok. And until next time, Technodrome signing off.
See ya.
Later.
Bye.